What's up, everyone? My name is Sunrix with another quality commentary, but this is just me. Actually, I'm going to review the three new maps that Modern Warfare 2, the new map pack, has released, a stimulus package, and I figured I'd get a little bit in depth about what these maps are kind of about, and what will probably take place in these kind of maps. Well, we're first taking a look at Bailout, and Bailout in my eyes is probably one of the biggest maps, no homo, well, hugest, no homo, um, of this stimulus package, and probably the biggest one on Modern Warfare 2, because there's actually a lot of apartment buildings you're able to go into and a lot of defensive cover. Um, so it's probably not going to be the most fast-paced map, but it's sure going to be pretty hectic when things do go close quarters. But probably this map would be hoarded by snipers and assault rifles, but like they are always. But I noticed in these three new maps, there's a lot of creativity to the textures, and I don't know, it just popped out at me, and it's really interesting. But throughout these, you'll just see me walking around trying to discover these new maps, trying to find nice places to pretty much defend and keep cover in, and trying to hold down or try to find some nice vantage points. I found a little 360 spot here that people are gonna probably whore, but I'm not exactly sure. Uh, don't well, but yeah. Um, I believe in a little bit here. I'm gonna be just spectating the entire map, just to give you an overall glimpse. But this map is probably gonna be the new Overgrown. Like there's the Overgrown that come back. Oh, and I won't be showing Crash War Overgrown just because if you play COD 4, you already know, and it's not that new if you want to see videos. But the reason I'm kind of posting this is because nobody's posting anything about the map packs yet, no commentators or nothing. So I figured I'd post something showing my opinion of what's going on here and etc. But pretty much this is going to be a pretty widespread map here, and a lot of action is gonna be happening in the apartment complexes. But this is me just giving an overall view of the map. It's kind of hard to spectate from up high because of all the I guess the mist you can say, or it looks pretty dusty. But um, I don't know. All the maps look good. Just this map, if you spectate high, it just looks weird. But again, this is actually a really big map, so I don't think it's probably going to be one of the favorites. And yeah, that's pretty much my say about Bailout here. It looks interesting. I'll give you that. And now we're looking at Salvage. Salvage is it's pretty much the sorry, it's pretty much the new sub base in my opinion, because it's a snow map and it has these certain corridors where you can go into, pretty much like sub base, where you can kind of defend in, except there's easy spots to get flanked. But this map's it's a little bit more complex, and it won't go that much in depth with snipers. Probably it'd be a lot more rusher friendly in this, just because of how textured the map is and how many buildings are in it. So it's going to be a lot more close quarters. Well, depending on the players anyway, but it's going to be it's going to be quite an interesting map. What goes on. Um, but I just want to clarify, I have not played these maps public. They just came out. I was just able to play them because of all the bullshit that was happening this morning, and I'm just showing you some shit in it anyway. But also, I noticed this building right here is actually a really nice spot. Too bad I didn't go more in depth in it, but it only had two entrances, the front and the side. I can't really know what to relate it to, but it's actually a really nice spot to defend in. I'm just walking around here, and pretty much by just looking at these maps, I can pretty much figure out the spawns. Like, not like search and destroy spawns, like the beginning spawns. It's pretty obvious, and I believe in the next map I show you, it's gonna. I think there's a pre-fire. I'm not exactly sure because um, it kind of lines up correctly, but depending on how the movement goes, I'm not exactly sure what's gonna go on. But this map is actually gonna be okay. I mean, I won't be a big fan of this map. And I noticed this little doghouse you're able to go into. It's going to be very camper friendly. I don't know. I just found that to be a nifty little thing, but whatever. But also, this is kind of like a junkyard map too, so pretty much a smart move on this map is to try to stay near the junkyard in order to get as much cover as possible or stay in the buildings. Just pretty much some common sense stuff if you want to stay in cover and not die from randoms. But right now I'm just gonna do an overall spectate of it real quick. But this is not, well, this is actually a pretty big map, but it's not as big as I already forgot the map. Um, the first map I showed you, but it's still a decent size. And Storm. Alright, Storm I actually like without even playing public yet. I know this is actually going to be a very, very close quarters map here. I'm not sure what's happening right now. Like, I think my capture card just fucked up. But anyway, Storm is kind of like a mix between Shipment and Vacant, as if, like, there are certain spots that you can go into, like pre-frags I've noticed already. But just in this just in this match, I noticed some pre-fire spots. But also, I kind of combined it with Shipment just because of the outside of the map. It's really close quarters, kind of like the Vacant, but more along the lines of Shipment. And there's actually a lot of buildings which relates it to Vacant, because Vacant was pretty much all building, and there was only one party outside that barely anybody went into unless they were going for cover. But so far, I'm kind of digging these maps. I think once I start playing public, I'm going to start recording some matches later on that you guys will probably enjoy. But um, this map will be very close quarters, so you always want to be ready with your SMG or your assault rifle, depending on how quick you are. And I thought this was a hole, so I was trying to jump down it, and then I realized it was just glass. But there's a lot of glass in this map as well, so you're going to have some little bit of trouble going around unless you stay on the outside. But yeah, other than that, I think these maps are pretty significant to one another, and they'll really create a wide variety of what kind of gameplay people will be doing. And when I jump into these maps, man, I'm gonna be playing them like there's no tomorrow. It's right after this I'm gonna start playing, so I'm gonna have to run to this very quick. But anyway, um, yeah, in this map, since it's all close quarters, you kind of want to stay in the buildings just for more cover. And so it's kind of harder to get flanked, except if you're like a pro rusher like me, wink wink. um, you can really get some nice mileage in this map just by running around, kicking some ass, taking names. And also, I noticed this building has a bunch of mannequins. I don't know. I just found that to be kind of funny. But anyway, I'm teabagging them a bit. But I'm going to do a little overview of the map real quick like I did the other two. But this map is roughly, well, is the smallest of the three. But just saying, there's 5 maps. I'm only showing you 3 because the other 2 you guys probably know of already. But these are the 3 new maps. They're in my opinion. Don't You guys can have your own opinion, but don't criticize me for having my own. Because I don't know, just just my opinion anyway. But again, come rate, subscribe. Well, I'll see you guys later, I guess.